Hello everyone, this is RJ Smita from Superhits 93.5 Red FM. I have a very special guest today with me, and yes, she is none other than the Chief General Manager of State Bank of India, Bhubaneswar Circle, Odisha, Madam Ruma Day. So today I'm going to talk to her about banking and also beyond banking. Hi ma'am, good morning.
Namaste Smita. I hope you are doing well.
I'm fine ma'am, how are you?
I'm also doing good. Thank you very much.
So, ma'am, my first question to you is being such a responsible person, like being the CGM for the entire state, how your day starts and how it continues.
The designation is very big, Chief General Manager, and therefore the day also starts with a prayer to God that my team should be good, my team should stay well, particularly during this pandemic times. The day starts with a prayer that all of my team should be keeping good health.
So, ma'am, being a woman, this is a very important question wherein I also want this answer personally. So, being a female and being in such a big responsibility, how do you cope? How do you balance your personal and professional life?
I think that to manage our life better, we women are specially empowered by God. And if we take certain steps, maintain certain discipline in our life, it helps us to cope better. One point being, we should not carry our home to the office, nor carry back the office to the home. Be in the present, whatever work we are doing, we should focus on that. Even in small work, if I am looking through some paper, my entire attention should be on that paper so that I can dispose it off and then move to the next work. Always it is not possible because we women have a lot of responsibilities both to the family as well as to the workplace. At that time, a beautiful equation with the family members and with the office colleagues helps us cope better. This is something which you have to build. It cannot come on its own. You have to build good equation, good relation with the people around you, so that when you have certain challenging situations, then they jump in to support you.
Wow. On that note, I would ask you, as a person, are you a very strict person or an easygoing person?
I think I am an easygoing person. And I believe that simply being strict does not yield the results that are expected. You have to empower your people, give them responsibility, also make them aware that with responsibility there are pitfalls, and at the same time you have to support them if they have made some errors, or if they have not been able to achieve whatever they have set out to achieve. You have to be behind them. You have to support them. I wouldn't say support them come what may, but wherever there has been a good effort, wherever they have taken responsibility, it is our duty to support them. And then only we can bring out the best in people.
So, ma'am, while we all know medical engineering are still considered as two key career options in households, so what would be your advice for the aspiring students who want to make a career in banking?
In India, these two, what they call as STEM in the US, medical and engineering are the most coveted professional qualifications. Medical engineering, and I would also put it as law and chartered accountancy. These are the very professional courses which are there. Banking is more or less a general stream, and you will find that in the bank there are people who are from the commerce background, who are from the arts background, as well as from the science background. In fact, our recent experience with recruitment is that we have a large number of engineering graduates who are joining the bank. Now, why they are joining the bank? For two reasons rather. One, they are unable to take the stress and strain of the engineering field, especially those who have to work on the field, civil engineers, electrical engineers. They are unable to take the stress. then banking becomes a very, very coveted option for them. Secondly, banking in the public sector is perceived to be a very cushy kind of career. Of course, it is not a cushy career, but the perception remains that it's very cushy, it is very hard work, and as you grow in the organization, we have to learn to take more responsibilities and become a professional banker. But banking is one career option which is open to people of all fields.
Unlike urban cities and towns, in villages and rural areas, people still go with the traditional banking methods, which involves going to a bank. And how do you see rural banking getting aggressively digitized?
State Bank of India is known for its outreach of the network of branches, and we have 65% of our branches pan-India which are in the rural and semi-urban areas. In Odisha also we have around 700 branches which are in the rural and semi-urban areas.
Okay.
Digitization, as we know, is not only limited to the urban areas as of now, because I think the first step towards digitization which we took was making Aadhaar. The Aadhaar was the first introduction to the people of India, particularly in the rural areas, to digitization. And then with it came the requirements of how do we ensure that the person in the rural area gets all the banking services. So having brick and mortar branches is one way. Then came the different modes of digitization. So you no longer needed to make a draft to transfer money, to remit money. You could do it through internet banking, or you could do it through NEFT, or you could do it through RTGS. In rural areas, there is a tendency. Why in rural areas? Across India, there is a tendency that we should go to the bank, and that is why you see huge crowds in State Bank of India branches. Why people go to the branch is because they feel more confident that we are entrusting our hard-earned money to this organization, and when I have a face to trust, then the trust is more. The digital space is faceless, so therefore to bring in the trust, it will take a lot of more effort and more time to ensure that people move entirely to the digital space. So in my view, the country is at a cusp where people will be moving more towards digitally, but at the same time they will be banking on the brick and mortar branches to have that crucial interactions regarding their finances. In rural areas also, I think people are getting more and more into the digital mode. You will find in rural area also Amazon going, and I'm sure that Amazon people are being paid mostly through the internet or through the other digital modes. So rural area is also getting digitized. In fact, we have supported the digitization of Bolangir district, and it is a 100% digitized district.
So ma'am, this is a very personal question again. I would ask you, what message and what advice would you give to all the young and aspiring women, those who want to make careers in some field wherein they don't know if they have a way to it or not?
That's a very nice question that you've asked, Mita. In India, we are actually very privileged. You find women in every field. There is no field where women have not made inroads and where women have not achieved the pinnacle of success. If you take recently only, Mirabai, she has brought the first silver medal for the country. So women are at the forefront. Every field, any field you pick up, see yourself. See our bank. We were the bank to have first chairperson of our bank was Mrs. Arundhati Bhattacharya. That was a glass ceiling that she broke. Many of our colleagues, women colleagues in the bank are at very, very senior and very crucial positions. How they have reached there? They have reached there because number one, they received a support from their mothers, their sisters, and their parents in general. Number 2, they believed that they could do it. Number 3, they had faith in themselves, in the system, as well as in their ability to take on more responsibilities and cross hardships. These 3 things are very, very critical for their success. For the younger generation, I would say, number 1 is first work very hard. There is no substitute for hard work. Number 2, equip yourself with as many life skills as possible. Number 3, have faith in yourself. And 4th is build good equations with the people around you, whether in office or at home. Build good relations with them so that they can support you, and in turn you can support them in any crisis.
In short, what I understand is if you can keep a good relationship with people around you, whether professionally or personally, that is going to help you grow in life. And with this note, thank you so very much, ma'am, for enlightening us with so much of information personally, and also I'm sure this is going to benefit a lot of people today.
Thank you so much, Smita. It's been a pleasure talking to you.